All right, this is video 6 for geometry. We're going to be going over the midpoint formula and the distance formula. So just as a review of our quadrants, okay, our top right-hand corner is quadrant 1, and then we go counterclockwise. So we've got quadrant 2, 3, and 4. All right, and just another reminder, when we write a ordered pair, we write it as x, y. Okay, so our midpoint formula is right here. Here's our formula, and we're just going to jump in with some examples, and the m in front means the midpoint of those. All right, so here's our first one. Find the midpoint of PQ, with P being -8, 3, and Q being -2, 7. All right, and so we just plug these into our formula. So we're going to take our x's, and sometimes you might want to say, call these 1, 1, and x1, y1, and this be x2, y2. Okay, and that might help you with your formula a little bit. So we've got -8 plus -2 divided by 2, and we've got 3 plus 7 divided by 2. So when we simplify that, it would become -10 over 2, comma 10 over 2, which reduces to -5, 5. So the midpoint of this would be over 5. That would be our midpoint. All right, the next one, saying m is the midpoint of x, y, x is at 2, 7, and m is at 6, 1. So we want to find the other half of our endpoints. So we know one endpoint, we know the midpoint, we want to find the other side. So let's plug in what we know into our equation. So we've got one x value divided by 2, and we know one y value. And we know that what the midpoint is 6, 1. Okay, so from this, we're actually going to split our 2 points into 2 equations, or our 2 values. So we're going to say 2 plus x divided by 2 equals 6, and 7 plus y divided by 2 equals 1. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. 2 plus x equals 12, x equals 10. Over here, multiply by 2 on both sides, so I have 7 plus y equals 2, and then y equals -5. And so my y coordinate is going to equal 10, -5. So here we're just finding an endpoint based on knowing one endpoint and the midpoint. All right, the next part is the distance formula. So here we're just finding the distance between 2 points. So we found the midpoint between 2. Now we're finding the entire distance. And here's our formula here for this. We've got the square root of the x values subtracted squared plus the y values that are subtracted and then squared. Okay, so we're going to jump into an example. Again, you can label your x and y points, and that might help you plug those into your formula a little bit easier. And it's okay if you flip-flop your 2 points. As long as you've got a 2 and a 2 and a 1 and a 1, you're fine. All right, so we're going to take our x values, and I'm going to start -4 minus 2, and then 6 minus 3 squared. And the fun part about this is we can plug this into our calculator. Okay, and so if you do, just type everything in. Make sure you keep all of your parentheses. That's one of the biggest things. If you make a mistake on this, it's probably because you don't have parentheses in there. And we get, let's round to 2 decimal places. So this would be 6.71. All right, and so that's our distance formula. So this short video covers midpoint and distance formula.